Hello and welcome. My name is Yihua Zhang. I'm 21. I'm originally from Shenzhen, China, but currently living in Markham, Canada. I recently graduated from McMaster University with a degree in Honors Political Science and Philosophy. I came across this camp through my friend Graham, who attended it last year, and suggested I apply. I did some research into Simon, Craig, and the camp itself, and realized immediately it was something that I wanted to be a part of. From the people that are teaching it, the people that are attending it, the camp, along with the values and the lessons that it tries to teach, are some of the things that I believe will have a profoundly positive impact on my life. I hope to be able to contribute as well some of my experiences in entrepreneurship failures, successes, and other things that I've done that hold the values that this camp exemplifies. In the next few minutes, I'll be trying my best to convince you gentlemen that I am the kind of person you're looking for. Growing up, I was always taught that when my family and I immigrated to Canada in 1996, we came because of the opportunities that Canada offered to me that China did not. That there was freedom here, and not just what we can express, but also in what we can accomplish. Despite being told I could make my own decisions, my parents were directing me at every turn. They are traditional, don't speak English, they work in China, and at the same time taught me the stereotypical work hard in school and get a stable 9 to 5. And that if you tried hard enough, you could be a doctor or an engineer or a lawyer. Those jobs are for the best, and you can have it too if you put your mind to it. But I always would ask myself, why was I working so hard for something I didn't want? When I reached high school, I realized how narrow-mindedly I had been raised all this time. My parents kept me very sheltered from real-life experiences. My dad always repeated the mantra, now is the time to study in school, get an education. You can have social and work experience when you're older. I wasn't allowed to work. And with my dad it was, you live under my roof, you live under my rules. And the rules were to follow the chain of social norms that everyone followed. You are told what to do in elementary school, you are told what to do in high school, you are told what to do in university, almost so you can get told what to do in a 9 to 5. While in high school, everyone would ask me, what do you want to do after high school? To say anything but go to university, settle down, and work a job was met with indignation. I would say I wanted to start my own business, be my own boss. Foolishness, they would call it. Risks that were too big and not worth taking. These were my teachers, my parents. These were the people that were in the positions to guide me. And if I ever rebutted that Bill Gates is an entrepreneur, they would say the world only has one Bill Gates. They gave themselves these excuses that repressed their potential and self-esteem by convincing themselves that these people must be different from them, that they're better, and therefore we can never be like them and should never try. And here they were trying to convince me of the same thing. But in grade 10, I took a philosophy course that introduced me to the world of this amazing field. Immediately, I saw the history of revolutionary ideas that went against social norms of the time. The one that spoke most to me was when I read The Gay Science by Friedrich Nietzsche. In particular, he had one idea that encouraged me to see life the way I had wanted to see it all this time. The passage said that before the institutions and before the social norms, the strong were on top, and the weak would gather in fear. Eventually, though, these sheep convinced themselves that being down here with everyone else was what was right, and that the strong were the ones that were wrong. They managed to convince not only themselves, but the strong of it as well. Only when we break free from these lies and return to our potential will we never settle for anything less ever again. Since then, I've embraced this philosophy. I set my own path, I set my own goals, I achieved them through my efforts, learning from my failures, and facing obstacles head-on. I started reading books from entrepreneurs who would preach freedom in action. I started goal setting, committing myself to schedules, and constantly seeking to better myself into the kind of person I wanted to be. I really got into strength and conditioning because it captures the philosophy of earning what you put into it. Your health and fitness is determined only by your vision and your willingness to push yourself. I started 2 clubs in university and a radio show that told and did what I wanted to do. Recently, I've started a small strength and conditioning business with a friend of mine, and we've been trying to expand into the internet, but we're meeting many obstacles along the way. Now, in all these pursuits, I've learned every step of the way. Every obstacle, every failure, every success has been a lesson I never forget and keep close as a reminder of the path I've set for myself. I've loved the freedom that entrepreneurship has given me, despite how little of it I have been exposed to so far, and I won't ever let go of it. And that is exactly what I see Blacksmith 2013 as. It is exactly that opportunity to grow, where I can learn from the best who share the same mentality that I do. The people who have achieved the kind of freedom that I for so long have been denied. And that is why I want to be in Lithuania in August and learning from the real teachers that I want to guide me. What I hope to gain the most from this experience is the lessons from not only the teachers, but also my peers who will be there, through their own personal stories and backgrounds. People from around the world, of different cultures, different insights, different lifestyles. To form connections with these like-minded people would be an amazing thing to experience. The same kind of people who share this love of freedom and self-sufficiency. And I hope through the friendships built and experiences had together in Lithuania, a strong network can be formed of people with similar ambitions. In 10 years from now, I see myself better developed in some of the aspects I'm currently striving towards. I have immense wanderlust, and I hate staying in one place for long. There's so much of the world to see, and everywhere has its own culture, its own history, its own people, and opportunities that are just waiting to be discovered and explored. I would love to be traveling around the world, never staying in one place for too long, or any commitments that would hold me back from doing what I love to do. To accomplish this, I'm hoping to have learned and applied much of the entrepreneurship I experienced I will have picked up, and I hope to explore investing and marketing so that I can have many sources of income or places where I can put the money that I earn. I like knowing that should one of my ventures go badly, either due to my fault or something extraneous, I have other investments that can keep me afloat and maintain my lifestyle while I try to solve what went wrong. In university, I found a love for connecting to people through public speaking, since I was president of McMaster's Kids Help Phone Club. In the club, we would go to many surrounding high schools and try to connect to audiences about finding their own direction in life, not giving into peer pressure, how to deal with the expectations in others that so many teenagers experience. Especially through my own experiences, I made so many connections with different people who are going through similar circumstances that I had gone through myself. I hope that in 10 years to build upon that and reach a wider audience, connect with even more people from different countries, each with unique lives of their own, but still connect on a similar level. To equally learn from their unique circumstances as well, and challenge myself in what I know and what I strive for. In the even more distant future, I hope to establish something like the Blacksmith camp that reaches out to impoverished people and teach them how they can better their situation with entrepreneurship and achieve their potential despite their surroundings. These are the kinds of things that I see myself doing in 10 years. Currently, I work on my mindset and my skills that move towards my long-term goals, whether it be entrepreneurship, fitness, or just the kind of person I want to be. I set goals that I can accomplish right now that build towards goals that I understand comes with time and experience. For example, in entrepreneurship, I have a small business with my partner, Asa Tam, and we train young athletes of sports teams in the surrounding regions with an NCAA standard that they compete in. We're hoping to expand online to grow our business, so I'm learning and applying basic internet marketing. I know it most likely won't succeed immediately, so I'm trying to just do it, make my mistakes fast, and learn from them so I can build my skills to not make the same mistakes again. With the skills I learn, I hope to be able to apply them to other aspects of entrepreneurship that isn't just fitness marketing. With my personal fitness, I set monthly goals in my diet and my workouts, so I can improve my health to a high standard. I apply this goal setting for my internal self as well. I set goals towards the kind of person I want to be in the future. I want to be someone who's willing to take risks, but I want to be smart about it, so I currently make sure to look for opportunities that I may not take now due to our circumstances, but I will make a mental note to work towards them should it be appropriate. I do this so I can get used to identifying as well as taking risks. Also, I spend 15 minutes before I sleep reflecting on my actions, both criticizing the events that I went through in the day that I could improve, while being proud of what I did well and trying to either maintain or improve it. Because this is more internal, it's hard to realize if I have reached some of these goals, but it's also good in the sense that not being sure will keep me striving to improve and never getting complacent. Now, since I have recently graduated, the standard I set for myself keeps me on track and holds me accountable for how I use my time, so I know I'm spending it wisely towards the long-term goals that I've set for myself in all these different aspects. The biggest disappointment in my life was also my biggest wake-up call. First, a bit of background. I was pushed into engineering by my parents, and at this time I was already starting to seek my own path in life. But my dad was incredibly firm with me about going to engineering. I did it much to my chagrin, and hated my time there. As I mentioned earlier, I had no work experience at this time, but I managed to convince my parents to let me work. And I found an opportunity in the school with a company called First Class Painters. They offered students the opportunity to run their own businesses. They would supply the materials. You had to assemble a team, handle paying your employees, selling yourself and your business, and learning all the aspects of that side of entrepreneurship, even if it was a bit restrictive. At the time, I thought it was an amazing opportunity to do something I was truly interested in, which was to run my business and learn all the components of what that means. I knew it would be hard, but I was willing to make the mistakes, and I made it through the applications and interviews. I just had to take the job. Now, I told my parents and friends about it, and all I got was complete negativity, particularly from my father. He said it was a scam. You'll never make any money. It's a waste of time, and they're just taking advantage of gullible people like you. He didn't even do any research about it, but he immediately told me I couldn't do it. The one opportunity I had at that point for me to do something I was interested in, and he dismissed it so readily. Even if what he said was true, he never gave me the opportunity to learn and fail. What it did make me realize was how dependent he had made me due to how much he sheltered me. My common sense and real-life experience was dependent on his word and not on any experiences of my own, since I was denied of making any opportunity to make mistakes or earn successes and learn anything for myself. From that point onwards, I realized I couldn't listen to them anymore. Whether it was for my own good or not, I would be the one who would determine that for myself through my experiences. And that's why that was the biggest disappointment, but also the most important experience I've ever had. The most influential book I ever read was a book I picked up before I went into university, Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. While it is not the best book I've ever read, there are a few issues with his examples and his analysis. It had the most profound impact on me. For me at the time, it was something that I really needed. This was someone else, and a bestseller at that shared my philosophy that human potential is not limited by natural talent, but actually fueled by the hard work you're willing to put into something. Suddenly, I wasn't the only person that thought I could achieve something, anything, no matter how unconventional it was, as long as I was determined and open-minded. He even drew Bill Gates as a prime example, the same one I tried to use in high school as a response to what I wanted to do with my life that was met with indignation. It gave me the determination to pursue what I wanted and to work for it despite any negativity I faced about it. For that reason, Outliers is the most influential book I have ever read. I mentioned a bit earlier that I wanted to do something similar to the Blacksmith camp, except with impoverished people. In my last year of university, there was a great human rights assignment where we were given the opportunity to create an NGO and learn the process and difficulties of setting one up. The project really connected to me, and I saw it as something I wish to pursue in the future. I would like to establish organizations in impoverished regions of the world that would provide microcredit loans as well as teach young women, particularly single mothers, how to unlock their potential and escape their surroundings through their efforts alone. There are so many people who could benefit from not just the money, capabilities that entrepreneurship brings, but the self-confidence and freedom that comes with it. That is something that I will definitely seek to accomplish in my lifetime. The most important thing people should know about me is that I believe in people. I invest a lot of my time into them because I believe in human potential. That's not to say I'm overly trusting, but I do have faith in what people can accomplish. I also firmly believe that everyone has experiences that are worth learning from. I believe in the value and importance of making connections with the right people, and I believe that investing in human potential is worthwhile. This is the one thing that I believe you guys value as well, and I'm determined to keep pushing and coming back until I get the most out of this opportunity you guys are presenting. I hope to join you in Lithuania in August. All the best.